Greetings and welcome to Surviving Mars. That's right, the wizard is going to Mars and going via one of these old school flat screen portal devices as opposed to our more recent virtual excursions. It is a departure, however, a departure that I am thrilled to be making, and indeed taking a little advanced look at it before its official launch. So without further ado, let's fire up a new game and begin our expedition to the Red Planet. So I have started a few games prior to this recording to kind of get the hang of it, and the first one I started on these default settings: International Mars Mission, Rocket Scientist. And it lists the difficulty as very easy, and it is. It's very, very easy, to the point where I would suggest that it not be the correct way to start the game. Now, don't get me wrong, it was extremely useful, as I knew basically nothing about the actual mechanics of the game, to have an incredibly forgiving environment to just kind of learn what does what and all the rest of it. But every time I hit any kind of snag, every time I had the slightest problem, I simply ordered up a fresh delivery from Earth, because I had tons and tons of money and 5 rockets to bring in all of the things that I needed. So it was a little bit too easy, I would argue. That is certainly not what we're going to do for this playthrough. Oh no, and at this, I say playthrough, I'm not entirely sure how long this series will continue. I think we'll have to wait and see. There'll be kind of a quick succession of videos initially to take advantage of the early access I've been given. And then I think what we'll do is we will see how those videos are going down. If people are enjoying watching them, maybe we can find a weekly slot for this. Maybe Flat Screen Friday or 2D Tuesday or something like that. But we will decide that, I think, and indeed potential future objectives for this colony when we see how it's going down. Until then, let's just get started. So we have to choose our mission sponsor. As I said, the International Mars Mission. This is easy mode. You get tons of money, tons of research. Well, actually not tons of research. You get a moderate amount of research. But crucially, you have large rockets, and you have a lot of them. So we are not going to do that. We're not going to take the International Mars Mission. We are going to go for Europe. We're going to go with Europe. I am still a European. I don't know how much longer I will be a European for, but for the time being, I am, and so I'm going to go Europe. That's what we're going to go for. Plus, I like the science that they give, and all that jazz. Commander profile. We go for inventor. Could be some kind of crazed lunatic inventor. Bonus tech, autonomous hubs, that's quite good. Oligarchs, maybe get some Russians involved. Hydro engineer, it's kind of dull, isn't it? Doctor, yeah. Psychologist, politician, futurists. You know what? It has to be politician. I hadn't even seen that before. All funding gains are increased by 20%. Bonus tech, Martian patents, repeatable tech that grants funding. I mean, who better to organize and execute the colonizing of the Red Planet than our handsomest politicians? I mean, it has to be them, doesn't it? They can come up with a cheap last-minute solution to any problem that we might face, and almost certainly that will be the best possible approach that we can have. As far as colony logos go, there are some great ones here. The Final Countdown, which if I could sing and could continuously sing the Final Countdown song at you without triggering any kind of copyright protections, then I would take it. But as I can't, I won't. Serenity, of course, that's very, very tempting. But it has to be. It could not be anything else than Don't Panic. So we're going to go for Don't Panic. And we're going to leave the mystery as random. Who knows what the mystery is? We don't know. You don't know. No one knows. It's random. That's the best way for a mystery to be, right? It's not all that mysterious if you know what it's going to be. So we're going to leave that as random. Now, this is our first rocket, our first payload. This is just going to be an unmanned mission initially to deliver cargo and rovers and drones and things like that to begin establishing our Martian base. And of course we need to rename it, because Avril number 1 is just a terrible name for a rocket. We're going to call it the Arthur Dent. Oh yes, I mean I could even call it the Dent Arthur Dent, I suppose. The Dent Arthur Dent? No, we'll just call it the Arthur Dent. There we go. That makes more sense. The Arthur Dent, it comes with a pre-set loadout of things. We've got a drone hub here, we've got a moisture evaporator for extracting water from the Martian atmosphere, we've got a fuel refinery so that we can actually refuel this ship to send it back to Earth for multiple future trips. It comes with an RC Explorer, which is kind of like a little drone thing that will go and uncover strange, unusual mysteries and things for us. We've got 6 drones, we've got some polymers, we've got some machine parts, we've got some electronics, we've got a couple of orbital probes. It'll do. There probably is an even more optimized way of doing this, but I figure, I mean, this was set up by somebody who knew pretty well what was going to be needed, and so we're going to just agree and unpack the Arthur Dent with precisely those things. And now, our handsomest politician, commander of our Mars mission, must pick our colony site. Possibly the most important decision that will be made at any... Well, that looks quite nice. Look, metals, concrete, water. We got some like things here, but obviously, as a politician, he doesn't really care about what the experts say. He probably commissioned a detailed and exhaustive report to be compiled so that he could then just ignore the findings of that report and instead give in to lobbyist groups and, you know, generally make a spot decision because he reckons that this looks like a pretty good spot. I mean, it's the first place, literally the first place we've clicked on. We got metals, we got concrete, we got water, we got slightly less water than metals and concrete, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Topography, relatively flat. Mean temperature, minus 15 degrees centigrade. Altitude, 1,263 meters. A colony site at 3 degrees south, 119 degrees east. It's nowhere special. Where is anything else? I mean, like, where is Olympus Mons? Where is the Valles Marineris? There's Valles Marineris. Look, we're like on the other side of the Martian world. The Valles Marineris, Valles Marineris. There's Olympus Mons. We're nowhere near that either. We're basically nowhere near anything of any particular value or interest. But I'm happy with that because it's what our handsomest politician chose. Let's do it. Let's begin. Our mission to Mars is underway.
Welcome to Mars.
Welcome to Mars, indeed. Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading its precious cargo. Our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet. The drones and rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavor will allow the brave pioneers, mostly selected from the political institutions of Europe, and henceforth referred to as the founders, to settle on Mars and prove the colony is sustainable. Until then, we have to make sure the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen, and power. Yes, indeed we do. So let's just close this message. So, already, look at this, already we've got a milestone. We've discovered water on Mars before we've even landed. This is actually a brilliant starting point. Not only do we have water here, we've got 8,750 units of water. Sadly, it's very low grade, but that doesn't really matter too much. We'll get out eventually. We've also got 380 rare metals, which is fantastic. We can extract those and send them back to Earth, or we can use them to make electronics and important stuff like that. Plus, we've got a concrete deposit, which of course is vital. It's vital that we be able to find concrete on the red planet. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it should really be called like a silicate deposit or something, shouldn't it? But no, it's a concrete deposit, so that's fine. Look at this map, though. Look at where the handsomest politician has decided to start his colony. We're basically in a giant crater. We're in like this big crater here. We've got this like plateau over on this side. I don't know how exactly this topography has come about. We've got a few sort of like smaller craters and stuff in here. We've got like something up here. This is gonna be tricky actually, because initially we're only gonna be able to explore wherever we land, so probably here, and then we'll have to create like tunnels, I guess, maybe. Let's just, before we actually like commit to landing precisely here, let's just use these 3 orbital probes that we brought with us to see if there's anything more interesting around nearby.
Anomaly found.
We've got another anomaly. We've got some metals there. That's pretty good. Underground metals. 825 plus some surface metals. Last one, I guess, we'll go there. Oh, we got more water. Is that an even better? That's an even better water one, is it? Let's zoom in and check it out. This is a low grade, whereas the other one was very low. So actually, that is a better water source. Plus, we've got more rare metals here. 404, not quite as good as that one. It's more in it, but it's a lower grade. We've got an anomaly. We've got some metals over here. High grade, 825. This is pretty good. This is actually a pretty good landing site, I have to say. Plus, we've got this lovely area up here that we should totally go and build on because it's up high. We could put wind farms up here. I don't know if they work better by being up high on Mars, but we can do it. Maybe they will. Good. All right. Before we land as well, I know everyone's super excited and wanting to see the shuttle come down. But before we do that, let's get some research underway. Now, as Europe, we have pretty good research to begin with, as we've been backed by Europe, I should say. And we also get money every time we research a new tech, which is pretty important. Live from Mars. More applicants start appear on Earth. That's not really relevant just yet. More funding could be useful, but probably not like a turn one pick. Transport optimizations. The RC, we don't even have a transport as yet. Explorer AI robotics generate 100 science per sol for each RC Explorer vehicle. Multiple vehicles result in collaboration losses. We have an RC Explorer, so let's pick that as our first one because that will just boost our science output, which is good. Now we want to advance the engineering tree because this is where we get bigger domes and a lot of our buildings and stuff like that. So this is one we want to put a lot of time into. Allows the clearing of salvaged and destroyed buildings. I mean, that's really, really uninteresting at this point. Low G hydrosynthesis. New building, polymer factory. New building, fuel refinery. I guess we could... We've only got one fuel refinery at the moment, but we've got so much water around us, we might actually be able to get a couple of fuel refineries up early, which would really speed up our return visits to Earth. We've also got Martian patents down here that we can research to get monies. Should we ever run out of monies, we can do this to get monies and send fresh supplies, which is pretty handy. Although 4,500, that's a significant research cost. Water reclamation, I'm just queuing a few up here. Magnetic filtering, Moxie upgrade, that's always going to be a handy thing to have. Let's get that, and then let's see where we are once we've done those things. We can outsource more funding back to Earth, but we only have 4,670,000,000 fundings available, so let's not get crazy and spending them too soon. Alright, the Arthur Dent is in orbit. It's waiting to make its descent and landfall on the Martian world, the red planet, for the first time. Let's do it. Let's just drop it right down. I think we want to exploit. Probably we want to start around here somewhere, so let's just drop her right down there. She's coming down. The Arthur Dent, retro rockets firing, blazing away against the gravity, the light gravity of the Martian world, slowing her descent until she comes almost like a ballerina, touching down on the red planet. And our colony is begun. There's our RC Explorer. We'll get that working right away. We did have an anomaly, I think. Yeah, look, we've got an anomaly right down here. We'll send him to go and investigate that. It's a strange anomaly. Our scientists believe that this anomaly may lead to a breakthrough. Fine. Go and make a breakthrough, RC Explorer. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's so cool. That's just a cool Martian rover thing. Trundling along the red surface of Mars. I mean, I would say that, this is the first time that we have visited the red planet, but of course humankind has been visiting the red planet for many, many years, and indeed rovers are not unusual, but perhaps not to this scale or this extent, or indeed never with this intent. Alright, there's a few things we need to do. Let's just set some orbital scans going. We have our on-orbit facilities are still operational, so we'll get them going. They can scan around our landing site and see if they can discover anything interesting. We can increase that by building a thing, a sensor tower. Here we go. We can build a sensor tower, but first we need to get power. So I think objective number one, we need to establish a small power facility, which I think is probably going to consist of maybe 1 or 2 wind turbines, and then some large solar power panels. Anyway, look, let's stick a wind turbine. How far does our thing stretch here? It stretches up to this. So we can have like a little wind farm up here, like this. I mean, what's probably more important than anything else to the handsomest politician, who I'm assuming is in here. I mean, I know this is meant to be an unmanned mission, but he wouldn't pass up the opportunity. When you got a massive, great big ship like this with Don't Panic emblazoned on the side, he wouldn't pass up the opportunity to be on board and overseeing the mission personally, making sure that everything is built to his exacting standards. Can this come out here? In fact, we want it to come out this side of things so that we can double these up. So this is our power line. Everything needs to be connected by power lines. It's just the way of things, the way of the force. We'll have that go like that and then come down, because initially we're going to want to build like a concrete thing here at the very least. So we want our power to come down. Power down. It's obviously an enormous waste of resources to build such a long and elaborate power network right at the very outset. It would be much better keeping everything condensed close together, but then we'd have to knock it down in the future and build more and make it look pretty later on. So let's just take the hit now. It'll be fine. I'm sure our handsomest politician will be more than capable of arranging for this to be all done properly and neatly and well. Alright, there we go. We're going to put a concrete extractor down. We're going to want to get concrete going pretty quickly. We need concrete for lots of things. Let's just check our starting resources. What do we bring with us? We've got no metals, we've got no concrete, we've got we just bought advanced stuff with us. So actually we're not going to be able to build these. We need to build solar panels first. We didn't think to bring any Sterling generator pre-packs. We totally should have done that. Alright, fine. Solar panels it is. We'll put a couple of solar panels down. We don't really want them near this because it'll generate a lot of dust, so let's have them up here as well, shall we? Let's have some solar panels away on this side. Solar panels, they're slightly closer to the sun, so I assume that means they will generate more electricity. That's what I assume. Oh, that's not been done brilliantly. If it had come to there, like, that would have been just neater. Like, it doesn't need to be too regimented, like it's going to be a bit higgledy-piggledy. There's going to be stuff just generally around the place. Look, this RC Explorer has completed his mission. You can go up here to scan in this. Look, this impact crater. What is it? What will we find there? Our scans have found some interesting readings in this sector. Further analysis is needed. Our RC Explorer is on the way. I think we can actually rename this. Oh, I don't know what to rename it. Should we rename this the Heart of Gold? There we go. Can I rename it? Rename Explorer. Yes! The Heart of Gold. There we go. Our Explorer, the Heart of Gold, is off doing what it does best. Discovering mysteries and possibly causing infinite improbability events to occur. We need to complete a power cable here so that this actually connects up. Oh wow. Sorry, handsome politician guy, but we have to have a little kink in the cable. Look, he's up here. He's just kind of like, writing a speech, thinking about what he's going to say during his next broadcast to Earth, which presumably will be broadcast live to the peoples of Earth, detailing just how organized and pre-planned and efficient this whole operation is going to be. When he looks out the window, he notices that his drones have just started constructing this kind of higgledy-piggledy power line. And he's like, "What are you doing, drones? I ordered there to be neat, organized, defined zones for..." Oh, look, he's so cute. How can you stay mad at that little chap? Look, this guy's flying. Why are you flying, drone? How have you managed to do that? How have you managed to learn how to fly? Is he like riding along the cable? Is it some like maglev cable? I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe it's just a... Okay, there we go. He's landed and he's activated his build stuff. Oh, this is so cool that you can get in so close. Build the cables. He's doing like a little dance to build the cables, and he's driving off. Possibly he's going to fly again. Maybe he's had enough of flying for the time being. He did his flying. It was cool. Everyone laughed and was amused. Obviously not the handsomest politician who's commanding the mission. He was thoroughly unimpressed, as he is still generally grumpy about the way in which all of this is going down. Let's put a couple of depots down here, a couple of universal depots, so that we can get all this stuff out of the ship, and also it'll be useful for storing like the concrete when it comes out. We'll also want some dumping zones, because we don't want the refuse and stuff from this concrete extractor to just be left lying about the place. We want to tidy it away neatly. We could maybe put it just in the lee of maybe here behind this big rock. Behind the big rock. No one's going to go there. Are they? Oh, you know what? Actually, that's quite pretty. Like, and we're probably going to want to put a dome up over here to extract that. So let's not put it there. Let's instead put it over here, just in the lee of this hill. There we go. Little dumping site. First dumping site. Oh, I misplaced that one. Apparently, even though I placed it instantly, I've got to wait for... Oh, there we go. It's been destroyed. I thought I had to wait for a drone to come and destroy it, but fortunately it just destroyed itself. Put that down. Put that down. Just like create a nice big dumping spot so we don't have to come and worry about our refuse for a little while. Good! Alright, that's pretty good. It's pretty close to that underground resource, but it's going to be a while before we get around to that. We can actually speed up time here. We don't have to wait for vast quantities of time for them to do everything. We can set it to kind of like maximum speed. We're also going to need to start generating some fuel, for which we're going to need...
The on-site data validates our predictive models of the electrically charged dust devils.
The heart of gold has arrived somewhere. We need to stop what we're doing and check. The science is well aware of the causes of the massive earth storms, monsoons, and tornadoes, and yet we have never ceased to admire the primeval forces unleashed before our eyes. The same goes for Martian electrostatic dust storms. Our scientists already had a good working model on the behavior of these peculiar weather anomalies on the red planet. Now we can refine this model even further. With the current expedition complete, we can confirm their theory. Yet, I doubt anyone would ever cease to revere the massive dust storms. True. Do we have a massive dust storm coming? We don't. I love this landing site. Look at this, though. I mean, it just looks really cool. We're like down in... Oh, there was an asteroid strike. We're just down inside this like really rugged thing. I love it. I think the handsomest politician has actually somehow, through pure blind ignorance and luck, managed to pull a bit of a blinder out. All right, we're completing that. We're also... We need to get these... solar panels complete. We really do. We need power, and because we're going to be reliant on solar panels until we get the wind turbines up, I guess we should probably get a battery built as well. So let's just organize that. We need some stuff to build a battery. So, and then we probably want to have probably a good idea to have the battery down here. So if we get like cut off for some reason, we've still got some stored power. So let's have a little array of batteries right here. Look. That's terrible. Let's just get rid of it all. Get rid of it all and start again. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is the handsomest politician, obviously just losing his nut. Right, we're gonna have a little array of batteries here, just organized like this. There we go. 2 batteries. I'm sure it will be more than enough for the time being. We'll connect those up via a cable. We can maybe put a couple more in there just to power the concrete extractor and anything else that we decide to put down here. Right, okay, so we're kind of running out of time for the first episode, actually. We've already been going for, what, 25 minutes, half an hour, something like that. So that's probably a good place to leave it. We have power. We have constructed our first solar panel. Sadly, it's nighttime, and therefore it's not generating electricity, and we're not actually running our concrete extractor. But pretty soon we will. And next episode, we will come back, and we will build ourselves some water generating capability. In fact, we'll probably start exploiting this water resource pretty much immediately, and also some oxygen generation, and we'll start building up the resources that we'll need to sustain our first colony, so that we can call in our political founders and survive truly on Mars. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.